Zelensky spoke about Russian shelling in the Kherson region. At least 7 people were killed in the shelling, including a 22-day-old infant. At least 22 people were injured. Local officials have declared Monday a day of mourning. Kyiv reclaimed parts of Kherson from Russian occupation in November 2022. A Russian warship fired warning shots at a cargo vessel in the Black Sea. This was the first time a Russian vessel has fired on merchant shipping cargo beyond Ukraine's waters since it left the Black Sea grain deal. The deal had allowed Ukraine to export its agricultural produce via the Black Sea. In a statement, Russia said one of its patrol ships fired automatic weapons. This was after the ship's captain failed to respond to a request to halt for an inspection. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un visited key military factories. This includes a tactical missile production plant. This is the latest in a string of visits by Kim Jong-un to defense facilities. Images released by North Korean local media show Kim being accompanied by officials as he assessed missile launchers and other weapons. South Korea and the United States have announced that they are all set to stage the Ulchi Freedom Guardian summer exercises. It'll be held from August 21st to 31st. The exercise aims to improve the capabilities of the two nations against North Korea's evolving nuclear and missile threats. This drill will be held on the largest scale ever. Tens of thousands of troops will be mobilized on both sides. Taiwan's Vice President William Lai has said that the island will not be afraid and will not back down in the face of authoritarian threats. Lai made this statement during his visit to the United States. China condemned the visit, saying it'll resort to vigorous measures. Lai will visit Paraguay. It is one of the only 13 countries that maintain formal ties with Taiwan. Cambodia's outgoing Prime Minister Hun Sen met Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi in Phnom Penh on Sunday. They discussed bilateral relations between the two countries and other issues of common concern. The two countries are working together on projects like an industrial development corridor and a fish and rice corridor. Hun Sen's son, Han Mane, is set to become Cambodia's new Prime Minister. Niger's junta has said that they have gathered enough evidence to prosecute ousted President Mohamed Bazoum for high treason. Bazoum was ousted last month in a coup. The coup leaders have not provided any evidence behind prosecuting Bazoum. This comes at a time when the Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS, is exploring options to reinstate the government in Niger. Iranian lawmakers debated a controversial hijab bill on Sunday. This was during a session in Tehran's Islamic Consultative Assembly. The parliament voted to discuss the bill further in an exclusive commission. This comes about 11 months after the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini. She died in the custody of Iran's morality police for the improper wearing of a hijab. The incident triggered worldwide protests. In Ecuador, the political party of the assassinated presidential hopeful Fernando Villavicencio has picked a replacement. 36-year-old Andrea Gonzalez will be running for office in place of the late Villavicencio. He was shot dead last week after a campaign rally. Villavicencio was a former lawyer and an investigative journalist. The ballots for the August 20 presidential elections have been printed, and all votes for Villavicencio will go to Gonzalez. Argentina's far-right leader Javier Milei got the biggest vote share in the country's primary election. The election paves the way to choose presidential candidates for the general election due in October this year. Milei is an admirer of former US President Donald Trump. He believes that Argentina's central bank should be abolished. He thinks climate change is a lie and characterizes sex education as a ploy to destroy families. In climate news, the death toll from the wildfires in the US state of Hawaii have reached close to 100. It's expected to keep rising. This makes the blaze Hawaii's worst natural disaster ever. Members of the US National Guard and Army are assisting in efforts to fight the flames. They are also helping locals in gathering donations for food and other supplies. Mount Etna, the most active volcano in Europe, erupted on Sunday. Italy's National Civil Protection Agency has issued an official statement saying Etna has entered a pre-alert phase. This alert level signifies a high likelihood of imminent lava fountaining. Firefighters in eastern Bolivia are battling a blaze. The flames have burnt down grasslands in areas near the city of Santa Cruz. Authorities say that as of Saturday, 20 forest fires had been managed. Meanwhile, other parts of Bolivia experienced a rare snowfall. The National Service of Hydrology and Meteorology reported snow and rain and thunderstorms in parts of the country. In the western areas, temperatures fell to 4 degrees Celsius. A tornado and hailstorm have killed at least 2 people and injured 15 in eastern China. Footage shows the tornado plowing through farmland, leaving the roofs of houses damaged. This comes as other parts of China are still reeling from the aftermath of Typhoon Doksuri. Russia has sent a task force to oversee the cleanup of parts of the country. This was after Typhoon Kanun passed through the Premoriu region. Reports say more than 4,000 homes have been flooded. However, there are no reports of casualties. Severe rainfall brought by thunderstorms flooded parts of Canada's capital, Ottawa. Footage shared on social media showed people wading through the flooded entrance of a building. The floods have forced multiple roads to close. The Ottawa Fire Services Department has advised people to travel only if necessary. South Korean activists held a rally in Japan's capital city Seoul South Korea's capital city Seoul on Saturday. They were protesting against Japan's plan to release water from the Fukushima nuclear power plant. It would be released into the ocean. After about 1,000 protesters were seen gathering near Seoul City Hall. They held up posters and chanted slogans. Earlier this week, local media reported that Japan is planning to begin releasing the water as soon as this month. A leading climate crisis author staged a walkout at the Edinburgh International Book Festival. The author and climate activist Michaela Loach demonstrated against the festival's main sponsor. It's an investment company called Baillie Gifford. Loach protested against the investment firm's alleged links to fossil fuel companies. Dryness due to the El Niño weather pattern is likely to further dent coffee production in Indonesia. This comes after excessive rains have already dragged down coffee output to its lowest level in more than a decade. The dip in Indonesia's supply has driven global coffee prices to all-time highs. Now onto business and tech. Reports say about 500 Credit Suisse retail investors are planning to file a lawsuit. This is to challenge the controversial purchase of Credit Suisse by rival UBS earlier this year. The Swiss Investor Protection Association plans to file the claim in Zurich's commercial court on behalf of the investors today. These investors claim they lost substantial sums of money because of the takeover. US-based Citigroup has completed the sale and migration of its Taiwan consumer business. It has been sold to Singapore's DBS Group. This includes the retail banking, credit card, mortgage, and unsecured lending businesses. Nearly 3,000 employees will also be transferred under the deal. China's State Council has issued new guidelines on foreign investments. Beijing says it'll optimize the country's environment to attract more foreign inflows. The State Council said that authorities should increase the protection of the rights and interests of foreign investors. This includes strengthening the enforcement of intellectual property rights. China's State Council also announced guidelines to increase fiscal support and tax incentives for foreign invested enterprises. Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of the collapsed crypto firm FTX, is heading to jail. This is after a judge revoked his bail. The bail was revoked after the judge found that Bankman-Fried tried to influence witnesses at least twice. This comes ahead of his fraud trial scheduled for October 2nd. Electric vehicle maker Tesla has cut the prices of two of its Model Y vehicle versions in China. This includes Model Y long range and Model Y performance versions. Tesla has dropped the starting prices of both models by nearly $2,000. The price cuts take effect from today. Meanwhile, US-based electric vehicle maker Nikola has recalled all its battery-powered electric trucks. This includes all the trucks it has delivered to date. The company is also suspending the sales of current vehicles. Nikola's move follows an investigation into recent instances of fire. The probe found a coolant leak inside a battery pack as the cause of the fire accidents. Australia's federal court has fined a local unit of Dell Technologies. It has ordered the computer company to pay nearly $7 million. This is for making misleading representations on its website about discounts for add-on computer monitors. Reports say Dell Australia sold more than 5,000 add-on monitors with overstated discounts. This was for the period between August 2019 and December 2021. Iraq's telecom ministry has said it will lift a ban on the Telegram messaging app. The ban was imposed last week, citing security concerns. The ministry's decision comes after Telegram responded to Iraqi security authorities. The authorities called on the company to disclose the details of some malicious entities. These entities allegedly leaked the private data of citizens. Remuneration received by individuals from the social media company X will be subject to an 18% tax in India. This is according to experts. X, formerly known as Twitter, recently started an advertisement revenue sharing program. Under this, users get a share of the revenue generated from ads displayed in the replies section of the content they post. Advertisers usually post ads in the comments of posts that have considerable reach and engagement. A US cyber safety body will review issues relating to cloud-based identity and authentication infrastructure. The probe by the Cyber Safety Review Board will look at the malicious targeting of cloud computing environments. This will include an assessment of a recent breach at the tech firm Microsoft. The Microsoft breach led to the theft of emails from US government agencies. Moving to sports. In cricket, the West Indies beat India by 8 wickets in the decider T20 match yesterday. Visitors India batted first and scored 165 runs for the loss of 9 wickets in their innings. Brandon King scored an unbeaten knock of 85 runs in 55 balls to lead the West Indies to victory. The hosts chased down the target with 12 deliveries remaining. The West Indies clinched the T20 series 3-2. England want all-rounder Ben Stokes to come out of retirement for the upcoming one-day International Cricket World Cup. Stokes retired from ODI cricket in July last year. However, he continues to represent England in Test and T20 matches. England say having Ben Stokes on the squad will give them a boost for the prestigious tournament. The World Cup begins on the 5th of October. In football, co-hosts Australia advanced to the FIFA Women's World Cup semi-final on Saturday. They beat France 7-6 in a nail-biter penalty shootout. The game was tied at 0-0 before it went to penalties. Then, during the shootout, both sides kept matching each other and ended up tied 6-6. That's when the goalkeepers of both Australia and France made 2 stops each. Then, French forward Vicky Becho missed her penalty. Australian Courtney Vine netted the ball to take her side to the semis. England beat Colombia 2-1 to enter the World Cup semi-final on Saturday. Lacey Santos scored in the 44th minute to give Colombia an early lead. England rallied back with a goal from Lauren Hemp 6 minutes into first half injury time. Then, Alessia Russo sealed the victory for England with a goal in the 63rd minute. In La Liga, Barcelona began their season with a 0-0 draw against Getafe. However, the game was not as dull as the scoreboard suggests. A total of 8 yellow cards and 1 red were given in yesterday's match. Barcelona's Rafinha was sent off directly for smashing his elbow into Getafe's defender Gaston Alvarez. Getafe's Jamie Mata was also sent off after a nasty tackle earned him a second yellow. In the English Premier League, Chelsea drew 1-1 with Liverpool yesterday. Luis Diaz scored in the 18th minute to give Liverpool an early lead. Then Chelsea's Axel Disasi scored the equaliser in the 37th minute. With the draw, both teams have secured 1 point each. Chelsea have agreed to a deal to sign Moises Caicedo from Brighton. According to reports, Chelsea will pay over $145 million for the midfielder. Last week, Liverpool had also agreed to sign a deal with the 21-year-old. However, the deal fell through after he informed Liverpool that he was not keen on joining them. Caicedo will now undergo a medical at Chelsea. In tennis, Italian Jannik Sinner clinched the men's Canadian Masters title yesterday. He beat Australian Alex de Minaur 6-4, 6-1 in straight sets. This is the 21-year-old's first Masters 1000 title. Incidentally, Sinner and de Minaur are also each other's men's doubles partners. Meanwhile, American Jessica Pegula clinched the Women's Canadian Open title yesterday. She put on a dominating show, beating Russia's Lyudmila Samsonova 6-1, 6-0. The match lasted just 49 minutes. However, some credit goes to the Russian, who had to play her final just 2 hours after winning her semi-final. This was because the semi-final had been delayed by a day due to rain. In hockey, India beat Malaysia 4-3 to win the Asian Champions Trophy on Saturday. The match was tied 1-1 in the 17th minute. Then Malaysia scored 2 goals within a span of 10 minutes. At halftime, India faced a 2-goal deficit of 3-1. As the second half began, India scored 2 goals within a minute, tying the score 3-3. Then Akashdeep Singh scored the winner for India 14 minutes before final time. This is India's 4th Hockey Asian Champions title. Apple TV Plus is working on a new Untitled 6-part documentary. The docu-series will be based on Lionel Messi's Inter-Miami CF journey. The documentary is being produced by Smuggler Entertainment in association with Major League Soccer. The California Labor Federation chief has said that it is shameful that the state does not offer unemployment insurance to striking workers. Members of the Writers Guild of America and the Actors Guild SAG-AFTRA, who live in New York and New Jersey, have this financial advantage. However, their counterparts in California and other parts of the United States don't. In New York, striking workers are eligible to receive over $500 a week for 26 weeks. However, in California, it is 0. American actor Zachary Levi has called out Hollywood for its output of what he said is garbage content. The actor said, and I quote, "How many times do you watch a trailer and go, this looks cool, and then you go to the movie and say, this is what I get?" The actor, famous for his role in the movie Shazam, also voiced his support for the actors and writers on strike. Actors Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Jason Momoa have shared their thoughts on the wildfires that have swept through Hawaii in the United States. In an Instagram post, The Rock said that he is completely heartbroken by everything that has transpired. Momoa also took to the social media platform. He urged people not to vacation in Maui to preserve resources for the survivors of the wildfires. The battle of the billionaires is raging on. Elon Musk has fired back at Mark Zuckerberg. This comes after the Meta founder asked Musk to move on from the cage fight. Musk had earlier claimed that he and Zuckerberg had agreed to hold a match which would be streamed on their respective social media platforms. Zuckerberg denied this. After Zuckerberg asked Musk to move on, Musk took to his social media platform X and posted, "Zuck is a chicken." American comedian Jimmy Fallon surprised Jonas Brothers fans at their concert on Sunday. Fallon appeared after the intermission during the concert in New York. The Jonas Brothers include singers Kevin Jonas, Joe Jonas, and Nick Jonas. They've appeared on Fallon's talk show, The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, multiple times. Actor Gal Gadot has reacted to the Barbie movie star Margot Robbie's comments that she should have played the lead character. The Wonder Woman star said she adores Margot Robbie and her comments warmed her heart and made her feel touched. During an interview in May, Margot Robbie said that she imagined Gal Gadot for a role in the Barbie movie as she embodied Barbie energy. Actor Bethany Joy Lenz has revealed that her involvement in a cult was not a secret on the sets of the show One Tree Hill. In a recent interview, Joy Lenz said that her co-stars were all trying to rescue her, but she was stubborn and committed to what she believed was the best choice. She also said her commitment to the cult took a toll on her professional relationships. Joy Lenz added that the cult made her distrust everyone, which led her to feel incredibly lonely. Former Family Feud contestant Timothy Bleefnick has been sentenced to life in prison for the murder of his wife. He became infamous after he joked that he regretted getting married on air. Bleefnick received 3 life sentences stemming from 2 counts of first-degree murder. Bleefnick and his wife were in the midst of a divorce at the time of the murder. American singer and songwriter Lionel Richie has cancelled his sold-out show due to severe weather. Musical group Earth, Wind and Fire also had to cancel. The show was already an hour late when it was postponed even further, disappointing over 20,000 people. Many fans had traveled and booked hotels to attend the show.